Hey guys, John Duncan here. This one goes out to my fellow financial advisors out there. And first, I'm going to start with this. There are two ways to build a multi-million dollar financial practice. Number one is spend a couple $1 million on advertising and overhead. And number two is work with much better clients. And by working with better clients, obviously, cut your overhead, and actually have more fun in your uh, position. What I'm going to cover today is a really simple but powerful way to really enhance what you're doing and get you working with bigger and better clients. The first quick tip I want to let you in on is set a minimum. I don't care what the minimum is, but set one. I know an unbelievable amount of advisors that I run into that do not have a set minimum of like how much their client must have to work with them, net worth, income. You can pick whatever it is, but have a minimum. That alone will change your business. I remember way back in the day that it was scary as all get out, but I set a minimum. I said, I'm not going to work with anyone under $1 million, like investable assets. And I'm telling you, like for days, I was just so scared of what was going to happen by setting that minimum. Like, oh my gosh, what am I going to go out of business? What's going to happen? I only had, like, at that point, I only had like 2 millionaires and hundreds of non-millionaires as clients. And so setting that $1 million minimum was just intense. Fast forward to today, my minimum, which I'm getting ready to raise again, is 10 million investable asset. My average or my minimum client last year was just under $30 million net worth minimum. So why I'm not saying to impress you, I'm saying that's what happens when you start having a minimum. It starts going, you have $1 million. Mine went from like 1 million, then it was like 2 million, then five. And then I was just like, do I go higher? And then it's like, then clients started coming in and their income was over 1 million a year. And I'm like, wow, this is just crazy. Like you could really set it wherever you're comfortable. Maybe none of that's comfortable to you, but set it somewhere. Take your top 10 clients, your top 10, top five, top 10, average them out. What is their net worth or investable asset or income level? That's your new minimum. And it'll scare the heck out of it. But it'll actually make life so much simpler for you and for your clients because now you'll start talking to that group instead of trying to talk to everyone, which nobody will hear you when you try to talk to everyone. So now I'm going to give you a simple strategy to start really moving forward in building a much more efficient practice that doesn't rely on spending millions of dollars or whatever, however much money on marketing. It doesn't require you to be crazy, an expert on 50 million things. It's really simple. So here it is. Find a group that meets your minimum. So in this case, I'm going to give you an example of what I just talked about. If we were looking for people with $1 million investable, I'll tell you one group right now. Doctors who have large qualified accounts. And there's multiple places on the internet that will sell you a lead list of exactly that. Doctors with at least $1 million in their retirement accounts. And so that's just one group of $1 million. We could change it up and say our minimum is 10 million, and we are looking for real estate developers with a minimum net worth of 10 million or a minimum income of 10 million, whatever it is. But then find a group that meets this to the T. Next, what you want to do is think about it for a second. So when we're talking about doctors that have over $1 million parked in qualified money. Qualified money, I mean, obviously that's just deferring taxes. There are much better tax solutions out there than just kicking it down the road. So you go find, do some research. One of them would be real estate investing or whatever. It could be whatever, but and then there's conservation easements. There's multiple different things. There might even be Roth conversions and using different things. If you don't know, what you would do is you simply go start talking to CPAs uh, and just Google it, do all kinds of just research, but then find providers that do exactly what you find, and then get educated there. And then what you want to do, this is how you take it to a whole nother level. Once you find a great solution, you're going to find the best you can find in the country that provides that solution. And then you're going to reach out to them and say, you work with multi-million-dollar doctors and they could probably use the solution. Can you find out more? Find out more, get all their background, their history, everything. And I mean, don't just find one, find as many as you can so you can pick the one that is just ideal, the best. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take that solution to this list. You're going to have that company tell you all the different things that they do, how it works and so forth. You're going to write up so forth. And you could either write to a doctor, call them, message them, say, look, based on public information, it showed you have a large qualified plan. Check out this solution I have found that you could do in replace of or in addition to what you're doing to save taxes. Because why are they doing qualified? Because taxes is a big issue. That's the only reason you do qualified plan is to reduce taxable income. So what happens? In some cases, the provider might even compensate you, if depending on how your arrangements are or what you do in finance, but our financial world, and that is awesome. If not, all it does is simply put you are now the source of helping this group of doctors solve tax problems at a higher level. Now, how open are they to learn about what else you can provide for them? Now, it's not going to be on this little education I'm bringing out today, but what I want to tell you is you can do the exact same thing with other solutions that right now you might be good at, but there might be people that are a lot better than you. And that's something that I had to get over myself. I know in financial, like for years, it's hard. It's a hard enough business to survive. We all have we want to be the best, but the business is so complex, and especially the higher you go up the food chain of who you work with as clients, that it is great to have experts in multiple areas that help you help that client. And again, believe me when I'm telling you, what it's going to do for you is not only make sure you do the very best for your clients, but at the same time, it's also going to boost your prestige and your authority. Why? Because who you're bringing to the table, that no other advisor they've ever talked to probably even thought about that solving those other issues. Just saying. Anyway, this is just a quick tip. I wanted to put something out here and help advisors. I get calls all the time from advisors wanting to know. They always want to know how I end up with the type of clients I do. Well, I'm going to share some of my strategy, and that's what today is. Just one of those strategies that I use quite a bit. So anyway, with that, talk to you next time. Hope this helped.